Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the things we didn't get to during the course of the show today. And we have a full cast back. Betty Rock is back. Yay!
Woo, I'm here.
She had a vacation day yesterday, and I had just got back from vacation. So things are going to be normal here for a little bit for most of the rest of the year. We're going out a little bit later this year than in years past. So that's kind of nice if you like the Aftercast. Did you have a good break, Rock?
I did. My car wouldn't start at one point, but we got that fixed. I had dog sit for a friend. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was great. Yeah, it was good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, we're back in the swing of things.
Yep, back at it. When my alarm went off, I didn't go, like I usually do.
Oh, good.
Oh, so you were filled back up. You were ready for the haul till Christmas.
It's funny how I need so many vacation days and how little time I need here to go home.
I'm still kind of jet lagged. And so,
are you really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like yesterday, I just couldn't keep my eyes awake at like 2:30 in the afternoon when I was home.
Just go to sleep.
I told my wife, I said, I got to go lay down.
Yeah.
And so I laid down, and then we had small group last night. And so I was asleep till like right before we left. I took like a 3-hour nap.
Good for you.
Yeah. And
that's
then
great.
I got through a small group, didn't fall asleep. That was good. But we did our Christmas party at small group, so it was like a lot of food.
Oh,
it was, and I was at the guy's house who taught me how to make those the beef little smokies wrapped in bacon with the brown sugar.
Oh.
And he made so many, and they were so great. And I didn't eat nearly as many as I could because I put on 3.4 pounds on my vacation, Rock.
Heaven forbid.
I know.
Big boy.
Heaven forbid.
Yeah, I put on some weight on vacation.
I even
so
brought you
I'm trying to
hash
lose
brown
it.
casserole, and you didn't eat it all.
I did not eat it all. I scraped the top part off and ate about a quarter of it. So I'll have maybe a little bit more tomorrow.
Did you know, too, that it's McRib season?
I did.
He
oh,
does.
okay.
He does know that.
Yeah, you weren't here for this. So the other night, I got stuck in the airport for a little bit. I had a bunch of delays, and so my wife and I, we found a Fridays instead of the Chili's too. We went to Fridays. Who knew that was still a thing?
Yeah.
And so I got there. I got like a sampler platter of chicken and shrimp and ribs, and so I had the ribs that morning in the airport. So when I got home last night, that night, I told my wife, I said, "Man, I'd really like to go to McDonald's for dinner." And she's like, "Oh, okay, that's good," which surprised me right out of the gate.
I thought she liked McDonald's.
She does, but she fights me on everything. Like if it's like an idea I want for dinner, like I don't know. But she's like, "No, that sounds good." So then I pick myself up off the floor. I'm like, "That was shocking." And so we go, and as we pull in, she goes, "Oh, you're not gonna believe it." I said, "What? Is it McRib back?" She goes, and I was kidding because I didn't think it was seasoned. She's like, "Yes!" I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" I was so excited, but then I didn't get the McRib.
What?
Because I had just had ribs earlier that day, and I didn't want to have ribs again.
Wouldn't has that ever stopped you? If you really wanted it, why not?
I did, but I couldn't do it because I just had ribs, so I got a Big Mac.
I was with a friend of mine, and her husband was so excited. It was McRib season. We all went out to eat after church on Sunday, and he ate just a little meager nothing during lunch because he said he was going to save up for that night because he was going to get 2 McRibs.
Oh, I love it.
I said, that's just plastic molded into
yoga mats.
Yeah, and he was like, "Well, it's the best plastic I've ever had."
It's so good. I love them so much. But yeah, I resisted. I'll probably have one this week. I'm just trying to get back on the horse of like.
What happened? Did you
weight.
just eat a lot?
Yeah, the thing was like.
You didn't walk a lot?
No, we walked. One day I had 29,000 steps.
Well,
yeah, but I had 29,000 snacks too.
Oh.
So that was the problem. Like you eat, like we had a few of our dinners were like all you could eat buffets, and they were expensive. Like Iceland is so expensive, and so like I wanted to get my money's worth, and I drank nothing but soda. I had a little bit of water. I will tell you this: Iceland water, it's really good. It's cold right out of the tap, no matter where you are.
Well,
they have a resource. It's like that.
Yeah.
Ice is right there.
But also, too, we can do that here in the U.S. Like
it's better. I drank straight up plain Iceland water a few times.
I am so confused.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just say, you say over and over, "Oh, you're complicated. You're hard to maneuver.
Yeah.
You're Too specific. Yeah. But the thing is you're just the same way.
I am?
Yes, because you're like, the water in Iceland is so much better. It's because it's cold. Okay, you can do that
it's
here.
Really cold.
Yet you don't drink your coffee cold.
Yeah.
You get it hot, then you put it in the fridge. You want it to be room temperature. If you get an iced coffee, you take the ice cubes out because you don't want that.
To water it down.
Do you hear the ridiculousness that is you?
Not really. I'm hearing a guy that knows what he wants. Like a driven individual. But yeah, so they make Icelandic bottled water, which I'm curious if it really is bottled there and shipped here. Head. I don't know. But over there, it was crazy. Like, it's funny. I was telling Gavin, Spencer, my daughter's fiance now.
Fiance.
Yeah, so that's nice.
Soon to be son-in-law.
He has a brother named Sean. He has two brothers, Sean and Simon. And it became this running joke on the thing. Like, Sean wanted to be Hayden because they listened to the Aftercast. And because Sean's dad was like, you are Hayden to me. And so, like, you are hypothetical Hayden. So I adopted Sean as Hayden. And we literally called him Hayden the whole trip. And then Simon was, like, left out. So I'm like, you're the good kid, Simon. You're Hayden. So we had Hayden and Hayden.
Hayden and Hayden.
On the trip, yeah.
I like it.
But I looked over at one point in time in Iceland, and we're in a men's room, and my stupid other, now not hypothetical but real son Hayden is drinking out of the sink in Iceland.
I was scared you were going to say something else.
No, drinking out of the urinal. It's that good. No, but they, like, a few of the guys that we were around in Iceland that worked there and lived there, they were like, dude, you can drink water out of the tap here, and it's great. And I look over, and Sean is drinking out of the men's room sink.
I still would not trust that.
Yeah, but he's fine. It did well for him, and it was good. And it is really, really cold. It's amazing. So Iceland water is good.
Yeah, this is going to be, though, the same thing as your little pancakes that were
those are amazing.
Where are those in?
In Amsterdam.
Amsterdam
Airport.
On and on about these little pancakes.
Amazing.
And I mean, he set the bar high, and I'm going, and I'm like, I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them. Literally, you could get them here in the U.S.
It's not the same.
Yes, it is. It's the same little bitty pancake.
You didn't use
put
the jam.
some powdered sugar on it, and you're good to go.
You didn't use the jam. The jam is
so it's the jam of Amsterdam.
Yeah,
it's not the pancakes. It's the jam.
I will admit that the pancakes are just tiny pancakes. I will admit that.
Then where was that earlier?
But you got to have the jam, and you didn't want the jam. That was the problem, because otherwise,
tell me about the jam.
The jam is amazing.
You went on and on about the pancakes.
Because then I said, well, you should have these with jam. And you're like, oh, no. I'm like, well, okay.
I don't put jam on my
But that's what makes the tiny pancakes
You're full
amazing.
Of it. You don't know anything. You like McRibs.
And then I was somewhere else. Like when I was in, Iceland, too. They call them, was it Iceland? I think it was Paris. They call them beignets. Okay, so beignets are this really cool New Orleans pastry. Yeah. So good. Like when you have beignets in New Orleans, they're great. But Iceland, or Paris rather, calls them beignets, but they're just donuts. It's not the same. It's like, so there's a few places I'm like, oh, beignets, let's get these, yay. And they were just donuts, and not really good donuts either. I didn't eat really well in Paris. The food, the last time I was there, like 15 years. It's funny, we were there 15 years ago when Haley was like 6, and I did not enjoy the food a lot. But my best memory of Paris is my brother-in-law took us to a 7-course meal, and it was a really nice place, 7-course American meal, kind of thing. And so they give us these mussels for one of the courses, and my dad loves seafood, and so they're on the shell, they're all opened up, and my dad wanted to put lemon on them, but they weren't any lemons there, and so he was like, oh, there's a lemon packet. So he opens it up and he's squeezing the juice out of this lemon packet. But it turned out it was a hand towel. It was a moist towelette, a lemon towelette. And he squeezed all the juice out of this towelette onto his mussels. Oh, yeah. We white trashed up Paris there. And it was so great. And we made fun of my dad for that for so many years. And I loved it. And so then... And I took a picture of it. Maybe I'll put it in the slideshow tomorrow. But I'm at a place in Paris, and sure enough, that same hand towel that I got
was still there.
Was there, same logo, everything. It was like, oh, so good. It was a good memory. Of him. And so I poured it on my food. Just took one for the team. Speaking of all this eating, McDonald's is investing $100 million to bring back customers to their stores after they had an E. coli breakout from some of their onions on quarter pounders.
Was that recent?
Yeah. like, let's think about this honestly. The people that love McDonald's and are eating at McDonald's, do you really need to spend $100 million to get people back to McDonald's? No.
Just tell us you're good.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, guys, we're good.
Yeah.
Figured it out.
You're only going to get moderately sick today. And you're like, oh, good, I'm back in. Like,
and how many people even knew that was the thing?
I could have, if they had done a big news report on the news, like we watch Good Morning America's on it while we're in the studio, they could have done a thing. E. coli breaks out in McDonald's. And if it wasn't like the specific McDonald's that's right around the corner from us, all I would see is, oh, that's a nice looking Big Mac.
Yeah,
I'd be like, I'm going to go today.
If I saw that, all it would make me go is like, kind of hungry.
Yeah,
for
I need a Coke. I need a McDonald's Coke.
I might go do that on the way
guess
home.
they saw some numbers coming in where they saw their sales plummeting.
Yeah, they had
and
to spend
freaked
the money.
out.
Yeah.
Thought, but that seems a bit excessive.
I know Chipotle had problems, and I still went to Chipotle, and I feel like I got E. coli.
You're not the greatest barometer when it comes to health.
There's definitely some. Well, it's my son Hayden, Sean. Like he has worse issues than me. Like he'll eat in the middle of the meal, have to leave. Like his stomach gets him or something.
Really? He has a tender tummy.
It doesn't bother him at all. I would be mortified. I would be making up excuses about where I was going. Like, because you know me, I'm like pee shy and poop shy. And so like I would want no one to know. Like it would never be talked about. If my family brought it up, like
that's why I announce it when you go to the bathroom.
You're the worst.
Here during the studio.
You're
we
the
all
worst.
do it, man.
I know, but I just hate it.
Some more than others.
So
Wally's gone to the bathroom.
Yeah, and I don't want anyone to know. And like, it's so funny. Like during this trip, you really get to know people when you travel with them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Sean probably had to go," and then his dad's making comments about making more room. You know, his brother Simon jumps in on it. You know, and it's just like, yeah, I would be mortified by that. I would have been like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just had to go outside," and while I was out there, turned out to be there was someone that needed saving, and so I did a tourniquet.
So you would lie.
100%. And then so that's why I'm sweaty.
It's a good way to cover up IBS.
Exactly. I couldn't deal with that. I couldn't deal with it. So anyway, what do you got, Rock?
Well, it was in the news that at Disney, they had to shut down the Haunted Mansion ride because somebody took it upon themselves. They had lost a loved one, and they had their ashes in a baggie, I guess. And while they're riding the Haunted Mansion ride, they sprinkled the ashes on the ride. And so they had to shut the whole ride down. The person was caught. They were found on security footage. Yeah. So if they are able to track this person down, they're going to be blocked from ever coming to any Disney park ever again. But there was a Disney employee that said this is a stupid idea for getting not rid of, but commemorating someone's ashes, because they just get vacuumed up at the end of the day, and they're in there with all the rat messings and stuff, and then they get put in the trash. And that's
Big story. They have rat messings in the hallway there.
I mean, we did this a while back, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, and we talked about what are some ways that you've seen or heard people get rid of someone's ashes.
Yeah.
And do you remember this one lady that called, and it was somebody that was a big fan of a baseball team.
Yes.
And so they went and they got a tour of the of the softball
stadium,
of the field, the baseball field. And as they're standing on the field, they like shook their pant leg.
The Shawshank Redemption did.
Yeah, because they had a hole in the pocket that had a Ziploc bag, and they just sprinkled it there. And no one ever knew. Yeah. But I guess some of the ashes had to fall into somebody's face or something, and they saw this person sprinkling these ashes. First off, why would you want your ashes put there? That makes no sense.
People always, if you're a huge baseball fan, like to have
No, I mean like the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, the same thing. There are people that are rabid fans of like the Haunted Mansion and things like that. And so, and it's this death thing. So, I mean, the ashes there make sense. But really what they should have done is, as you walk into the Haunted Mansion, there's all these tombstones that have funny sayings on them and stuff like that. And there's like bars. You should have just reached through the bars and poured it in the grass there, and you would have been fine. The ride wouldn't have gotten shut down, and it still would have been at the ride. But like just sprinkling them in the tracks makes no sense.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway,
right.
I want to do a topic about that, about like where you would like to have your ashes scattered. If you
where
could
would
pick
you?
Anywhere. I don't know. I need to think about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it in the topic.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it on the do it on the show tomorrow.
Like a little morbid, but
yeah,
kind of fun at the same time.
I know mine.
Okay, well, hold on to it till tomorrow.
Surprises.
Yeah, great.
I think I know.
Really
I think I know either. Yeah.
It's going to be fish food at Catfish Camp.
It's that.
Like, that checks out.
Yeah.
A little bit of Betty in there, a little bit of Betty in the Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
put her in like a urinal.
Places?
Yeah, that would be great.
Hey, their bathrooms are amazing.
They
now
are.
That bathroom I would drink out of the faucet.
Oh yeah, it's not as good as Iceland. No, there's no way.
Oh please, no! You are so full of it.
I'm telling you, Iceland water.
Did you share your high and your low from the trip?
No.
If you have to think about your high, that's sad.
No, I was thinking about my low. I would go to the negative first.
Of course.
No, the high, I think was. I mean, obviously, my daughter getting engaged was great. You know,
that's what I was thinking you'd say.
Being out on the glacier with just the Arctic wind like whipping through you was pretty great too.
Oh my word!
No, my favorite part. This is what I love. My new hypothetical son Hayden. I have to take a pic. I have a picture of him so that now we can have a face to Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
But
can he dye his hair blue?
Can we AI Hayden? Have we ever like done a little? Like if we put a little prompt in
that's
for seashell loving.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, maybe we should. But Sean might be close. It's so great because obviously Spencer's parents know that he's going to propose to her. We know that he's going to propose to her. Everyone knows. Mm-hmm. So
did Haley really know?
Haley was hopeful, obviously, but she didn't know. And
I noticed her nails were done, and I was like, she knew.
We all tried to throw her off, you know, and stuff like that. Because I told her too. I said, well, because one of the things is we were like, well, he has to ask us because I wanted to have a conversation with him and talk about some seriousness of marriage, you know, and so I told her, I said, look, I'll try to carve out some time with him on this trip where we can kind of pull aside and then maybe he can ask me then. Mm-hmm. So I tried to throw her off like that, but he had asked us months ago, and it was really nice how he did it. But it was really great. I loved watching him with her. And how he looked out for her and took care of her. Like, that was really great for me to see as a dad. But my favorite part is, so Haley's facing this other direction, and they were going to do this thing where they do these spin videos that they do for her TikTok and everything. And so she spins around, and so instead of him holding the camera, he's holding the ring. And so she has this freak out moment, and then you just hear, no way! No one told Sean. Because I guess they were afraid Sean was going to ruin it.
Oh,
so Sean has a genuine reaction of no way, and we all started laughing. It was so funny. It was so perfect. It was so Hayden. And so yeah. So it was.
But you like Sean?
I love Sean. Sean's great.
Did you help with the ring?
No, I had nothing to do with it. No.
You did help with their anniversary gift.
Oh, you mean buying it? No, I had nothing to do with that.
That's not his responsibility.
Yeah.
Well, neither is their anniversary gift. Here we are.
I just helped her a little with that just because she wanted to get the nicer one.
Of course she did. Yeah. That's why she told you about it.
Well, his dad and myself had a conversation about the kids. There were a lot of conversations.
See, this is what I'm looking forward to.
Well, because
these conversations.
Well, because the whole thing of hypothetical Hayden is about how you treat your sons differently, and their dad is a boy's dad. And he's like,
and you're a girl.
I am. I'm a girl's dad. But he's like, if you don't have it, you're not getting it. And don't come to me. You know, like he's really good about, he's like I would be if I had a son, like hypothetical hate. I'm like, absolutely not. No, you got to figure it out. And there were a couple of times on the trip, he's like, got to figure it out. We thought that Sean had lost his passport and thrown it away like when we were eating pizza in line, and we're on the plane. He's like, man, he's got to figure it out.
Is he the middle kid?
Oh, that's a good middle kid mindset.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about it. Like he runs his family like you would run a boy family, and then I am running mine like a girl dad. You know, and so.
Oh, honey, it's okay. I'll buy you a new passport.
Exactly. Not a problem. Daddy's got this. Don't you worry. You just sit there.
Shell it out.
And so, but we had a conversation. We're like, they're going to be getting married. And at that point, they're off both of our payrolls.
You excited-ish? Yeah, conceptually.
Sure.
Yeah, conceptually. But then we were also talking about, vacations. Because, I was paying for Haley's vacation. He was paying for Spencer's. And we're like, yeah, in the future,
children.
when we go, they're adult children. And he's like, yeah, if they want to go, they're going to have to pay their own way. And I'm like, absolutely, sir, I am down.
Oh, you are
and
I don't know if I can.
But I mean, there's something to be said for being able to bless your kids in that. Like,
like your parents took you to Hawaii.
I appreciate, like, Hawaii. Haley's parents paid for Disney a little bit before that. Those were kind of the this is our last big hoorah before like kids and our siblings graduate. But like it was a huge blessing.
See, I don't know how long it would last. Like that's
especially
the thing.
On that scale,
right? Like that's the thing. Like there's like when they're still young and starting out, do you do it as a nicety? Like Marty's dad was really nice to us, like financially and stuff. And so I'm like, I kind of want to do that, but then it gets awkward if I'm doing that or if they're doing that because they've taken Haley on trips before and they've paid. And then so I'm like, oh, am I supposed to pay for Spencer now? You know?
Well, and then the other problem is that Spencer is one of 3.
Yeah.
Haley is one of 1.
Right.
And
special thing.
If she can't make it or if she wants to come on a vacation, but y'all are like, well, you are like, no, if you can't pay for it, we're not coming.
Right.
Well, then Marty is going to be like, now, babe.
Yeah.
Babe, no. We're going to pay for it, and we're going to pay for Spencer, too.
Probably.
I was going to say, in essence, though, like, you are done with Haley being, not done, but the odds of Haley coming on a trip with you guys, like just Haley coming on a trip with you guys, is just out the window as well.
That's it, because now it's
you
a
have
team.
2 people that you shouldn't have to pay for. Like, I can understand, we have an Airbnb, don't worry about paying
I'll
chunk
get that.
of it. We'll get the Airbnb, but if it's ticket, if it's the cruise room, if it's stuff like that, then
I see the next step of this as being like partial stuff because that's like what my father-in-law did. Like one Christmas, we got a cabin. My father-in-law paid for the cabin for everybody, but we had to get there, kind of thing. And so I could see doing that, like you're saying. Okay, I'll get the Airbnb, and you guys fly in.
Maybe one thing they could do at the Airbnb, they could pay for groceries or something.
Yeah, Spencer bought dinner one of the nights at one of the expensive places. And I was like, "Oh, dude, you don't have to do that."
Now
he's like,
no. Broke.
Yeah. No, like it was really nice of him to do.
Can you forward me some money so I can pay for this meal?
Yeah, like, and I didn't want to, I didn't want to accept it, because I want him, I want them to save their money and stuff. But it was really nice of him, and so I was like, okay, thank you, that's good, because I hemorrhaged some money on this trip.
What was Marty's reaction to everything?
The engagement and stuff?
Yeah, the engagement, and then
she cried.
Did the savings account come up that y'all have for her?
Well, no, they've already had a ton of great wedding conversations.
Oh, I know, but now it's happening.
While we're on the trip, like his mom is putting together the list of their guest list and then sending us places for them to get married because she does destination weddings. And then Haley was like, I don't think I want to do a destination wedding. And I'm like, okay. I said, look, you do whatever you want to do.
What did you say?
I said, you do what, no, honestly, I said, you do whatever you want to do. If you want to do a destination wedding, great, but only do that because you want to. And because you and Spencer want to. Don't do that because we want that, And so she told me, she had texted me last night. She's like, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I really want to do a destination wedding. And I'm like, okay, fantastic. So, yeah, we've already seen castles in Ireland, Scotland, and Italy.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow.
Oh, yeah. And it's cheaper than doing stuff here.
Surprising? Like, I didn't see that coming.
But it's cheaper than doing stuff here. That's the crazy thing.
But
the wedding industry
what about those guests that Spencer's mom wanted? They're not going to be able to come.
But that's the thing. Yeah, and we all know that. And like we all know that
you want that. Because that means that's less people to have to pay for.
Because that's the thing. Like, would you ever throw like a $20,000 party? The answer is no. And this is a party, basically. And so it's like you like just have a few people around you that are there, that love you, that will travel. Like my sister, I could see my sister Jenny being able to go, and Molly and Greg for sure would go, and like one or two other people. But I know other people aren't going to go, just because it's too expensive to get over there. And I get that. And I'm not offended by that. It doesn't hurt my heart at all. Like I understand. And so for me, I was like, this is fun to do it this way. And then when she gets back, she can rent out a restaurant and do a party that's not $150 a plate for people and all that craziness, and she's going to save money. Like one of the so many venues. I know people that spend $15,000-$20,000 on a venue, and one of these castles with accommodations and breakfast for 30 people was under $10,000.
That's insane.
Like, and so you're like, oh my gosh, okay, now you got something.
Now, what if she's like, but Daddy, I need my bridesmaids there, and he needs his groomsmen
You
there.
You have the budget, and if there's no, it's true. No, I know you're looking at me. I've been so straightforward with them.
I don't care.
I know. I
do not care.
You get the budget. This is your amount, and don't ask me for anything else. That's the rule.
Is that okay?
That's the rule.
Please don't ask me for anything.
No,
else.
that is going to be the rule. They know it.
Oh, it's the rule?
It is.
It's the rule?
Because I can't do this. My buddy, when his daughter got married, oh my gosh, it was one thing after another. And he's so good about it. And he had the money. He's like, that's fine. I don't care. It's her day. He wants her happy. And so it's just one thing after another. Yeah. And so he gladly paid for it. Yeah. I would be less than gladly paying for stuff. And so I don't want it to be an issue between me and her.
Some weddings have to be, calculated, and some don't. Like that one was one where they didn't have to be calculated. Just go big, have fun. But you don't have to go big to have fun.
No, and that's my whole point. That's why giving her the whole account. This is how we decided to do it. She's going to get the account.
Does she know?
We're having a conversation with them today. They get the account. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, don't ask us for anything else. This is your budget to handle as a couple, to do whatever you want. And then if you have a bridesmaid that can't afford to fly, but you want to fly her there because she's that important to you, then you can pay for it out of that budget. It just means you're not going to get whatever.
And she could have, the big thing would be to have a few. Don't have to have too many bridesmaids or groomsmen. Yeah. And then maybe you can treat them to that kind of.
Yeah, you could. The hard part, because
it is expensive for kids.
If you do the accommodations, then all they have to do is get over there. Because the accommodations come with some of these packages. So it's like, okay, it's not too bad.
If you buy early enough, you're not going to run into crazy prices.
When are they thinking?
Yeah, I was going to say, do we think next year is in the picture?
Stupid pledge drive got in the way. Support drive. Yeah, I have the dates for issue because I got the dates because I always plan a year out for vacation, and the date that they were looking at is right smack dab in the middle of support drive, and I can't take it off.
You could do it from there.
Yes, I could. Yeah.
Call 855.
I know. So I told her. I said
with a Scottish accent.
If you want, I was like, if you want me there, you're gonna have to pick another date. I can't miss those dates.
If you want me there, and she's like, okay.
Yeah. And you know what? There's part of me that would be fine with that too. Just take pictures.
No, you would not.
Take pictures.
Are so full of it.
Here's the question.
It's a lot of headaches already.
It's your one and only daughter.
It's a big headache. What is the likelihood that you will be officiating said wedding?
She asked me about that. She was like,
in a kilt.
Yeah, I know. She's like, here's our list. Yeah.
Hope it's not windy.
There's you. She's like, you, a friend of ours, Jeremy, or Paul.
Oh, Jeremy in Orlando?
Yeah. And so, and I've known Jeremy for years, and he would do a great job at it. Paul would do a great job. The guy who runs Shower Up that we hang out with every weekend.
So good.
He's a pastor?
No.
He's done the thing
neither is he.
Yeah, exactly. I think Jeremy has it too. They all have their online thing. And so, yeah, it would be cool to do. And one of them would do it. I don't think Paul could go. I think it would just be harder for Paul. Mm-hmm. Hillary's already been like, look, we're going to be in Japan for this month because they take month-long vacations and they're not wealthy. He's a teacher and she's a flight attendant, but they're so good with their money and they get all these deals and they know how to stretch a buck. But they're like, we will be there 100%. And so I think she would lean towards Jeremy.
Those are the three choices for officiating at this point?
Because I said I would do it, and Marty goes, no,
I think you should be able
a mess.
I think you should be able to just witness and
enjoy. It would be too much. I don't think you would be able to enjoy it.
That's right, because she said you'd be too stressed and you wouldn't enjoy it, and you would have a hard time getting through it. And then she showed me the video of me in the tail of three trees, and I'm like, okay, I remember.
We're close to being able to read that.
Oh yeah,
good times.
Yeah, so so it was a great trip all around.
Wait, what was the low?
The low was just, I think we went so hard and I was exhausted all the time, at night when we get home, and we did some really cool things, but then and we were with so many people, Marty and I didn't get any time to do ourselves, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And typically on vacations we like to have that and we have a little more downtime, but this was a lot of people moving fast and blending two families and stuff like that. And you've got to figure out, you don't want to offend anybody, and you got to figure out each other's travel and how you do it and stuff. And it all meshed well. Like, it was great. But and then we had travel problems getting home because of weather and delays. And we're going to do a topic on this tomorrow. The time you surprised yourself, you would not even have recognized me with the amount of laissez-faire, nonchalant. Okay, we'll get home. It's fine. It's not a problem. I was like, Christmas hit me or something. I was talking to all the people that were stressed and working there. I'm like, I hope you have a good day and that people don't bother you today.
There was someone I was talking to. I cannot remember who it was, but they were telling me that it was in a relationship, when one person is stressed, the other one just magically is able to not be stressed.
And goes the other direction.
Right. It's like you take turns.
Yes,
like
100%.
If you're stressed, you, Wally, if you're stressed, then Marty has to be a calm one. And it's easier to be calm when you see someone else that's being stressed. You don't want to be stressed together.
You don't want to add that.
So was she stressed?
She was a little stressed about some of it.
And so that made you more...
in her bags and stuff. Like when we got...
If she had been more blasé, you might have been
probably more
like...
stressed, yeah. But we got... like we always put air tags in our luggage, and I'm glad we did, because we came through Iceland to Orlando. So we had a night in Orlando before we flew home. And we're the last people, like the bags going around, and Marty and Spencer's bags are gone. And so we had given Spencer an air tag too. His dad was mad that he didn't put his air tag in there. He's like, it was a gift. It was free. Put it in there. And so it was like Marty had her air tag. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry. Your bags are gone. I will say this. The people that were there at Orlando International were so kind and nice to us. But they're like, yeah, it's gone. We don't see it. It's not here. And we're sorry. And you can go fill out this paperwork. And Marty has the air tag. I go, dude, it's here. We have an air tag in the back. It is here somewhere.
Good.
And he was like, oh, okay. Are you sure? I'm like, yes, here's the air tag. Yeah. And so it made them have to research it and find it. And he goes, well, we called and they're not finding it. They're not seeing it. I'm like, dude, it's here. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's on the premises. Right. And so he was like, well, let me look. Give me the tag numbers. And so he did that, and then they were able to find Marty's, but not Spencer's. And so we got our bags, and then on the way the next morning, traveling on Thanksgiving Day, or the Sunday after Thanksgiving, was a lot of people, man. Just nightmares for so many people. Ours wasn't that bad. We got delayed like 4 times, but then we got on a flight, and it was fine, and we got our bags, and everything was fine. But people were mad. I was telling Gavin yesterday, I almost pulled out my phone thinking cops were going to take down a guy. Like 4 cops and this guy, and the situation resolved itself peacefully. But then I'm like, should I videotape? And then I'm like, oh, I don't want to be that guy.
I'm surprised you were going to videotape.
I know, I said I don't want to be that guy. Well, no, there was 4 of them. They didn't need my help. It's 4 on 1.
Wait, what?
I know.
They don't need your help?
Yeah.
You could actually see that?
If somebody had grabbed for the gun, I was in, though.
Oh, my God.
I do. This is so fun. We got to wrap this up. But when I'm driving by, like if there's an officer that has somebody stopped on the side of the road, I always slow down just to make sure they're okay.
That's why we have traffic.
I know.
That's why you're the reason why.
No.
That's the reason why I'm 20 minutes late to getting home is because Bozo the Clown wanted to see.
But my job as an amateur first responder,
what are you gonna do?
If he's in an altercation, he needs to go home to his family that night too.
What if he's delivering a baby?
I'll help with that too. I have my certification.
No, you don't.
I'm a dad. I cut an umbilical cord. I know how to do this.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on board with that.
Yeah, see? You could do it too, Gavin.
No.
I'm not touching that.
He's like, I'm not doing none of that.
So I always look just to make sure there's nothing like an altercation where all of a sudden a cop's in trouble and I'm like, I would jump in. 100%.
That is so scary.
I think I'd rather, and then I hope somebody's filming that.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, where he gets in the way. He makes things actually
ruins.
worse.
Yeah.
Have you seen Barney 5 on Andy Griffith's show?
Yes, One Bullet Barney. Yeah, I am One Bullet Barney. Okay. I think we got to wrap this up today. And as always, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.